Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing the prediction for the WWE Elimination Chamber 2014 kickoff show match where Curtis Axel and Ryback will team up to take on Goldust and Cody Rhodes. And I think this match is a really easy match to predict, and I'm going to go for Cody Rhodes and Goldust to win this match. There's a few reasons why I do think this, but I don't think there's no chance in hell that Curtis Axel and Ryback are winning this match. First things first, Cody Rhodes and Goldust lost the tag team championships on the Royal Rumble kickoff show. They were defending their championships on the last kickoff show at the Royal Rumble, so it just wouldn't make sense for them to go into their next match at a pay-per-view on the kickoff show and lose to Ryback and Curtis Axel. It would just be such a contrast to the match they were in at Royal Rumble. I mean, they go from defending their title at Royal Rumble to losing to a new tag team of Ryback and Curtis Axel. It really wouldn't make sense for them to defend their titles at one pay-per-view and then 3 weeks later lose to Curtis Axel and Ryback. It just wouldn't be good at all for Goldust and Cody Rhodes. Also, 9 times out of 10 on the kickoff show, you always have the faces win. The one time at the Royal Rumble was quite a strange one because the New Age Outlaws, the heels, won, but they usually have the faces win on the kickoff show. Mainly, they do this because you want to leave a good taste in the mouth of fans on the kickoff show, so they go and buy the pay-per-view ready to watch it. Because if you make the faces win on the kickoff show, they're like, yes, my favorite won, I'm going to go buy the pay-per-view now. If you have the heels win on the kickoff show, they're less likely to be interested in who won that match, so they're less likely to buy the pay-per-view because they don't have a good taste in their mouth on their first match, so they're probably not going to buy the pay-per-view. So the Goldust and Cody Rhodes, the faces, will probably win here because they are the faces and you want their faces to win on the kickoff show. Also, there is rumours that Goldust and Cody Rhodes may face each other at WrestleMania 30, so there obviously is big plans for Goldust and Cody Rhodes. So you want to be building these guys up for WrestleMania 30. If you're going to give them a loss, especially on the kickoff show, it's going to make them look really weak and they're going to lose a lot of momentum. You want to build these guys up for a big WrestleMania 30 match, apparently against each other, even if it isn't against each other or they're still in a tag team against somebody else. You still want to build these guys up for a big WrestleMania 30 match. If you're just going to give them a pointless win on the kickoff show at Elimination Chamber, they're going to look very weak. Also, for Cody Rhodes and Goldust, they originally gave Goldust and Cody Rhodes the tag team titles to push Cody Rhodes. So if they're going to give them a pointless win at Elimination Chamber, a B-star pay-per-view, it's going to make them look rather weak. Also, lastly, for Goldust and Cody Rhodes and Ryback and Curtis Axel, Ryback and Curtis Axel don't really look like a tag team to me. It just looks like they've thrown these two guys together so that they can use them and utilize them, or if they didn't, they'd just be stuck at the back. So they put them in a tag team to both use Ryback and Curtis Axel. Apart from that, this tag team aren't really going anywhere, so it just wouldn't make sense, or it wouldn't be that valuable to give Ryback and Curtis Axel a big win on a pay-per-view if they probably don't really have big plans for these guys in the long term, because they're only together at the moment just to really use Ryback and Curtis Axel. Giving them a win would be a slight waste when you could give it to Goldust and Cody Rhodes, who should be and will be built up for WrestleMania 30. They're also pushing Cody Rhodes and Goldust, mainly Cody Rhodes, so you want to give him a big win here and give him some momentum going into WrestleMania time. Also, they lost the tag team titles at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, so you definitely want to help them recover from that big loss and give them a win here at the next pay-per-view match being on the kickoff show. Also, it just wouldn't make sense to give them a loss against Ryback and Curtis Axel, who aren't really an established tag team, and at the Royal Rumble they were defending their tag team titles, and then they go to the next pay-per-view and just lose to Ryback and Curtis Axel. Really won't make sense. You need to build these guys up for WrestleMania 30. What do you guys think? Hopefully you have in fact enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to this match. It should be a good tag team match. Thanks for watching. Take care. Spite your hair. Leave your predictions in the comment section down below. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing a prediction for the WWE Elimination Chamber 2014 match between The Shield against the Wyatt family, and I'm actually really excited for this match. There's 6 young guys in this match, some great gimmicks, really looking forward to how WWE present this match, but in my opinion, It's a very, very easy match to predict, and I'm going to go for the Wyatt family to take the win in this match. Now, there's a few reasons why I do think the Wyatt family are going to win this match, but the main reason why I do think the Wyatt family are going to win this match is because the Wyatt family are looking like they're going to face John Cena in some way at WrestleMania 30. So, obviously, if you want to build these guys up as a possibility to beat John Cena at WrestleMania 30, whether it's just Bray Wyatt against John Cena or a six-man tag match including John Cena, you want these guys to go into the WrestleMania 30 match with the biggest momentum possible. So obviously you've got to make these guys look strong on the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania 30, and that last pay-per-view is Elimination Chamber. So you've got to have the Wyatt family look strong here, and how you make them look strong is by having the Wyatt family beat the Shield here, and then go on to WrestleMania 30 with some huge momentum from this win, and go on take on John Cena. Obviously, the Shield, without a doubt, have been the biggest tag team in the last 2 years, so for the Wyatt family to beat the Shield, and then go on to face John Cena, will give them some huge momentum, and obviously, WWE have got to book it this way. If they want any possibility of people buying into a John Cena versus Bray Wyatt feud, or a Wyatt family versus John Cena feud, you've got to have them look strong as possible going into that WrestleMania 30 match. And how you do that is make them win here against the Shield, who arguably have been the biggest tag team in the last 5 years of the WWE, so it put them over very, very well. Also, the Wyatt family are actually the younger of the two tag teams in this match. So you've got 6 guys in here, and obviously the Wyatt family are the youngest out of the Shield or the Wyatt family, because they came in the summer, and the Shield came in 2012 at Survivor Series. The Wyatt family actually came in the week before Money in the Bank at a Monday Night Raw. So obviously the Wyatt family are a much younger a much younger faction than the Shield. So obviously you've got to make the younger guys put over more in this match, because the Shield, they've had a little bit longer to build themselves up. The Wyatt family, not so much, because they're a much younger faction than the Shield. So you've obviously got to favour the Wyatt family in this match to get more of the momentum, because they are younger and they need a little bit more help of getting over and making stronger. So obviously you've got to pick the Wyatt family, the younger team, as being the Wyatt family over the Shield, because they're a younger team and they need a little bit more help and looking stronger. The Shield have been around for a little bit more, and they don't need as much help, because the Shield have had a huge main event run in the last few months. The Wyatt family, not so much, and they are a little bit younger than the Shield. They need a little bit more help, especially if they want to build these guys up for WrestleMania 30. Also, you've got the Shield, who are rumoured to be breaking up for a WrestleMania 30 match. Now, it does depend heavily on if WWE are thinking about doing a triple threat match between Randy Orton, Batista, and Daniel Bryan. They are considering doing a triple threat match between the Shield, but I did read somewhere that apparently they want to keep the Shield as a team, apart from Roman Reigns, who will split off as a face character. But apparently they are breaking up, whether it's with Roman Reigns breaking away or the Shield are going to break in its entirety. But one way you could do that is on a big pay-per-view moment, and if you want to break these guys up, it would be a good way to do it at Elimination Chamber. Then you can spend a good month and a half building a huge WrestleMania 30 match between these guys in a triple threat match. Obviously, these guys have been together since Survivor Series 2012, so if you want to break these guys up, it's got to be a big moment. So it's got to be at a pay-per-view. It's not going to be a Monday Night Raw. It's not going to be on main event. It's not going to be on SmackDown. It's not going to be on a kickoff show. It's going to be on a pay-per-view. And if you want to make this match as special as possible, you've got to have it at WrestleMania 30. It's 30 years of WrestleMania, WrestleMania 30. So one way they could do this at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So maybe you have Dean Ambrose attack Roman Reigns, Reigns spears Dean Ambrose, or Seth Rollins maybe comes out of nowhere and attacks one of them. Either way, it's going to end in them breaking up probably. I predict they are going to break up fully at Elimination Chamber. We're going to watch them break up. We've been teased for the last few months. Why would they tease and not fully break up before WrestleMania 30? It looks like they're building towards a big match. It'd be a shame if they dropped the ball where they could obviously have a huge match at WrestleMania 30. Why wouldn't they cash in on that opportunity at WrestleMania 30? A triple threat between the Shield, or even a breakup between the Shield. Maybe Reigns versus Ambrose for the US title. Something like that. It's got to be something like that. It's got to be big between the Shield, and you can all do this at Elimination Chamber. It's the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania 30. It's the last pay-per-view before the WWE Network. It's going to be exciting. It's a big moment, and it could all happen at Elimination Chamber between the Wyatt family and the Shield. And obviously, that would also put over the Wyatt family quite well because they caused the Shield to break up. But what do you guys think? They've been teasing it for a while. I think it's going to happen at Elimination Chamber. What do you guys think? The Shield are breaking up? I think so. The Wyatt family, of course, are going to get the win. What do you guys think? Hopefully you have, in fact, enjoyed this video. My prediction is the Wyatt family are winning. Thanks for watching. Take care. Spite your hair. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing the match prediction for the WWE Elimination Chamber 2014 WWE Tag Team Championship match between the New Age Outlaws against the Usos. I'm actually really looking forward to this match. I think it's going to have some fast pace to it. It's going to have some good spots. Just all around, I love everybody in this match, and I'm sure it's going to be a very good match. But sadly, my prediction is going to be a bit of a strange one. Now, I'm going to actually predict that the Usos are going to win this match, but they're not actually going to pick up the Tag Team Championships, because I do think that the Usos are going to win this match by disqualification. Yes, the New Age Outlaws, I think, are going to get themselves disqualified either by the use of a chair or by just walking out on the match, and that will let the Usos win their match, but obviously with the championship's advantage, they actually retain their titles, because if you want to win a championship, it must be by pinfall or by submission. So the Usos will win this match, I think, but they're not going to pick up the titles because it'll be by disqualification. So the Usos winning by disqualification. Let's get that out there. The reason why I do think this is going to happen is because it does look like they put this match on there, obviously to sell more pay-per-views. People want to see the Usos win the Tag Team Championships, but I don't think it's their time yet. And the only reason why I don't think it's their time yet is because this match has had some very poor build towards it. Really, it hasn't had hardly any build towards it whatsoever. Now, the Usos have been in the tag team division and been in the WWE roster for a good 2 to 3 years, and they've never won the tag team championships. So when they do, it's going to be a special moment. But this match hasn't had hardly any build towards it. So if they were going to win on Sunday at Elimination Chamber and win the tag team titles with a pinfall, it just wouldn't feel special because the match hadn't been, the feud or the match hadn't been built properly, and when they win, it just really wouldn't feel like they'd overcome something because the feud hadn't been built correctly and the match just didn't feel like a proper match. So I just don't see them doing it on Elimination Chamber. I don't think if they'd win on Sunday at Elimination Chamber, it'd feel special because there's been hardly any build towards it whatsoever. And it just wouldn't feel like a great moment because of that. And the fact that it'd be their first tag team championship win, and everybody knows that they're going to win it in the future, and if they were just going to win it on Sunday, it just wouldn't feel like a big moment whatsoever due to the fact that the match has been hardly built up whatsoever. I also think that the fact that the Usos have been in the WWE for a good 2 to 3 years, that when they finally win the championships, it's going to be a huge moment for them and the fans. So when they do win it, it's got to be at a big pay-per-view. For example, WrestleMania 30. So for me, they should save them the win for the championships till WrestleMania 30. I also think there's actually a lot of opportunity to build a really good match between the young generation of the Usos and the old generation of the New Age Outlaws. So for me, they've got a good 6 weeks to build towards a WrestleMania 30 match, rather than what they've done at this match, where they've literally just thrown it in there in 2 weeks. And it just doesn't feel great. It just really hasn't being built towards whatsoever. It's just being thrown on the card. So for me, they're probably going to save the big match for WrestleMania 30. So for me, if they want to carry it over till WrestleMania 30, this match has got to end in a disqualification. There, it gives the Usos the excuse to challenge the New Age Outlaws again for the titles at WrestleMania 30, where they have 6 weeks to build a big match, and then they can have a big moment at WrestleMania 30 when they win the Tag Team Championships after 3 years. And it'll be a huge moment because we all know when the New Age Outlaws lose that championship, they're probably going to go. The only reason that's keeping them in the WWE at the moment is because they're a transitional champion. They're transitioning this championship from the Cody, Rhodes and Goldust to the Usos. As soon as they lose that championship, they are going. But I don't think they're quite ready to go yet. If they were going to go Elimination Chamber, it would be a shame due to the WWE Network being out on the day after and WrestleMania 30 around the corner. You want to keep some big names still in the WWE, for example the New Age Outlaws. So as soon as they lose their titles, they're probably going to leave the WWE and we won't see them for a while. So you want to keep them on the WWE and with the titles for a long time. So that's another excuse to keep them on the titles up until WrestleMania 30 time. Also, the New Age Outlaws are heel, but they really haven't shown it. So a good opportunity to put them over as heels would be by disqualification. The Usos are really over with the crowd. If the New Age Outlaws were going to hit the Usos with a chair or walk out, that would give them a lot of heat. They really don't have a lot of heat at the moment, even though they are carrying over some heel traits and some heel gimmicks. They really haven't shown themselves as heels. And if WWE want to book them as heels, then it would be a good opportunity to take up on this and win by disqualification using a chair or walking out. That would really put the New Age Outlaws over as heels, because at the moment they're kind of in the middle. And if you want to build up a good 6 weeks build towards the Usos versus the Outlaws at WrestleMania 30, where they finally win the titles, the Usos, then you want a heel and face team. And a good opportunity to create this would be by disqualification using a chair on the Usos or walking out. What do you guys think? I think the Usos are definitely winning this match, but it will be by disqualification. I definitely don't think this will be the time the Usos win the championships. So for me, the best possible opportunity would be for the Usos to win by disqualification. There they won't lose momentum by losing, but it will still give them opportunity to go for the titles at WrestleMania 30. I don't think it'd be good to give them a loss by a pinfall by the New Age Outlaws. So that way, giving them a win by disqualification gives them a win and gives them momentum, but doesn't give them a pinfall on themselves, so they lose momentum. So making them win by disqualification gives them momentum, even though they still haven't won the championship. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have in fact enjoyed the video. The Usos to win by disqualification. Take care. Spite your hair. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing a prediction for the WWE Elimination Chamber 2014 match between Darren Young against Titus ONeil. I'm actually quite looking forward to this match. What do you guys think? Get down in the comment section. What do you guys think about this match? I actually think it could be one of the star matches on the pay-per-view. But in my opinion, I do see Titus ONeil picking up the victory in this match. Sadly, you've got two young guys in this match who both deserve to win, but obviously you can't give one win to the other without another one losing. But for me, I think Titus ONeil would certainly benefit from a win rather than Darren Young. And the main reason why I do think this is because Titus ONeil is the one that's turned heel. Darren Young was facing the Primetime Players with Titus ONeil, and Titus ONeil turned on Darren Young. So now Titus ONeil has gone from a face to a heel, but Darren Young has stayed as a face. Now, if you want to make Titus ONeil look as good as possible and want to put over his new gimmick as a heel, you've got to make him win in his first pay-per-view match, especially when it's against the person he's turned on. Now, he's gone from a face to a heel, and if you want to cement this new gimmick as a heel, you've got to give him a win. You've got to give him momentum. His first pay-per-view match as a heel since he's turned from a face to a heel. You've got to give him this match. Here it'll put over his new heelish gimmick and make him look a very strong heel. If he was going to go into his first match as a heel from turning from face to heel and lose, then the gimmick change would have seemed quite pointless, and it wouldn't really show good future for Titus ONeil. It would have been completely pointless to turn him heel if you're not really going to go anywhere by turning him heel. So obviously, turning him heel, you obviously want to do something with him, or you would just leave him how he was in the team with Darren Young. So obviously in his first match as a heel, you're probably going to give him the victory if you want to use him as a heel. So for me, I see Titus ONeil winning this match. There is only one other reason why I do see Titus ONeil winning this match, and that is because if the heel wins, it usually means that there's another match between the two down the line, probably at WrestleMania 30. Now, a good example of this was with the Wyatt family. Now, when the Wyatt family faced Daniel Bryan, the Wyatt family won the first match against Daniel Bryan, And then they had another match between the Wyatt family and Daniel Bryan again. And the reason they do this is because if the heel wins the first match, the crowd aren't satisfied, or the fans aren't satisfied by the fact that the bad guy won the match. So they have another match to follow that, where eventually the face does come out on top. Now, if you make the heel win here, Titus O'Neil, then it would mean Darren Young would want to win against Titus O'Neil, and it would probably mean that WWE will book another match between the two further down the line, where probably the face will eventually win the match, Darren Young. And I definitely think there's a lot more juice in this match. I mean, these guys have been a tag team for a good 2 years. There's definitely a lot more build towards this match available for a WrestleMania 30 match. Now, obviously, if you want to keep this feud alive, you've got to have the heel win this match so that the face can ask for another match further down the line and get it and probably go on to win. So for me, having the heel win the first match means that the door's open for another match further down the line, probably at WrestleMania 30. And the next pay-per-view is WrestleMania 30, and that will give them a good 6 weeks to build towards a great match between the two former Primetime Player team members. Obviously, they've been a team for 2 years. There's without a doubt a good opportunity for some nice 6 weeks build towards this match. If you have the heel win at Elimination Chamber, then you can have another match at WrestleMania 30 between the two, probably where Darren Young will pick up the victory. What do you guys think? I think that the fact that Titus O'Neil's turned heel on Darren Young, he needs to pick up the victory here and get the most momentum in this match, considering he has had a change of gimmick. It'll also open the door to another match down the line between the two if the heel wins. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching. Hope you have in fact enjoyed this video. Take care. Spite your hair. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing the prediction for the WWE Intercontinental Championship match between Jack Swagger against Big E. And to be honest, this match is a little bit of a filler match. If you think about it, these guys really don't have anything to do with each other. WWE literally just booked a random match on a Friday night SmackDown where it's a fatal 4-way match, and the winner got an IC title match against Big E. And thankfully, Jack Swagger did actually pick up the victory in that match against Kofi, and he actually beat Mark Henry as well as Rey Mysterio in that match. And Jack Swagger surprisingly got the win there and now faces Big E Langston at Elimination Chamber. But sadly, this match is a little bit of a filler match. It just doesn't make sense to put the title on Jack Swagger when he's currently in the Real Americans. These guys look good. They're pretty much over with the crowd in the wrong way. They do actually get quite a bit of a face reaction when they do come out. They're quite over. A lot of people love them as a tag team. They've got a lot of fans on Twitter and in the IWC. A lot of people really like this tag team, and honestly, I don't see the point of giving the title to Jack Swagger when these guys are quite a big threat to the tag team championship and in the tag team division. These guys are fine as how they are. They don't need to break up. They're fine as a tag team. They're a very, very good tag team, very entertaining as they are, and I don't think Jack Swagger would really benefit having that championship when they're alright as a tag team with Cesaro as they are. As well as that, I don't think Big E Langston is ready to drop that title yet. He honestly hasn't really done anything with the title as of yet. He won it back in October time, and honestly, as soon as he'd won that, I was not really impressed with what he's done. He's been booked against people and in matches which won't really matter at all. He's not really been put over that well at all. He's really just been put in lots of filler matches. Usually what they do with this title is they just put filler matches after filler match on pay-per-view, and yet again they've done it against Jack Swagger. And honestly, this match is going to be another boring lame-ass match by Big E Langston. I honestly don't see anything happening other than Big E Langston retaining his Intercontinental Championship here. It's going to be a filler match. He's going all the way up to WrestleMania and beyond with this title. He's not dropping it anytime soon. They put the belt on Big E Langston to push him, and honestly, he's not losing this at all up until WrestleMania 30, and I do see him defending it successfully at WrestleMania 30 as well, because it will be his first WrestleMania as him being in a singles match. So honestly, he's got to win there as well. So if you want to build the scale up for a big WrestleMania 30 IC match, you've got to give him the momentum here against Jack Swagger. So for me, it's another filler match for Big E Langston with the Intercontinental Championship. Sadly, Jack Swagger is losing here, but I think he's fine in a tag team. I don't think they want to be putting him with a singles belt at all, because honestly, they're doing fine as they are. He doesn't need to change his ways at all. He's fine as a tag team, and Biggie Langston needs to build up some momentum for an Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 30. The best way to do that is to give him a win on a pay-per-view, like they've done here, just thrown in 2 random guys, and Biggie Langston is going to get the win here and go on to WrestleMania 30, hopefully with a big match against the top superstar. What do you guys think? Biggie, for me, is definitely winning here. There's no chance in hell Jack Swagger is randomly picking up the title belt when he really hasn't done anything in his singles career since joining the Real Americans. Would it make sense to give him a title, which really doesn't make sense, because he is in a tag team and he's doing absolutely fine. Also, Biggie Langston needs the win. He needs some momentum going into WrestleMania 30. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching. For me, Biggie Langston is picking up the victory here. Thanks for watching. Take care. Spite your hair. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing my prediction for Batista versus Alberto Del Rio at WWE Elimination Chamber 2014. This is a very easy match to predict, and I'm going to go for Batista to get the victory in this match. And first things first, this will probably be the second to last match on the card, just before the WWE Elimination Chamber match where Randy Orton will defend his title. But this match will be very short, because Dave Batista has only recently just started doing house shows again. He looked very worn out after the Royal Rumble match in January, and of course it takes a while to get used to being back in the ring. So this match will probably go on for 5 or 10 minutes. It won't be long at all, but this could benefit Batista as well as make him look rather weak, because obviously if he finishes Del Rio off quick and early, it puts him over rather well and makes him look very strong. But sadly, it's not going to be a very long match, which could maybe not be as great, because you want to make this guy have a big long match where you remember it. But if it's too short, well, it's not really that memorable. It's not really something that, the fact that it's his first singles match in 4 years pay-per-view, you want to be able to remember it, but in my opinion, it's only going to go for around 5 to 10 minutes, which will benefit him as well, because he'll finish off Del Rio quick and early and make him look much better than Del Rio and put him over as a very strong character. But my opinion is Batista is getting the win here. They've really only picked Del Rio as one person to face Batista here. I think he was the only guy which just made it short of being in the Elimination Chamber 6-man match, so they picked Del Rio. I mean, it doesn't really matter who they chose to go up against Batista in this match. There's been some good build by Del Rio, but honestly, it could have been Zack Ryder or Wade Barrett. It really didn't matter which heel they chose to face Batista in this match, because they're just going to lose, because Del Rio's job in this match is to put over Dave Batista as best as possible, ready for WrestleMania 30. I mean, it's his first match, his first singles match since returning after 4 years. He's definitely going to win here and make a huge impact. It's his first match. Of course, he's got to make an impact in his first singles match since returning in the WWE. He's also got to be built up well so that you can believe that he's going to win at WrestleMania 30 against possibly Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If he goes in there with a few losses to his back, he's not going to be believable, and people aren't going to buy into the feud and make you believe that he's actually going to win at WrestleMania 30. You've got to give this guy as much momentum as possible going into WrestleMania 30, and you can start here by giving him a win against the former World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio. You've got to give him the most momentum possible. You can do it here against Alberto Del Rio by giving him the win, because you've got to believe that he's going to win at WrestleMania 30. People are going to buy to make or see the face win at WrestleMania 30 being Batista, and you can't believe that if he's not got a lot of momentum. But one way you can give him momentum is by giving him a win against Alberto Del Rio. Also, Alberto Del Rio hasn't looked great ever since losing at Hell in a Cell to John Cena. If Batista was going to return and lose in his first singles match against Alberto Del Rio, he's going to look very weak, and he's certainly not going to look like somebody who is a #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's why Batista has got to win here. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Del Rio wasn't even on the WrestleMania 30 card. Ever since Hell in a Cell, he's just looked worse and worse. They haven't really recovered from that loss against John Cena. I mean, the loss was huge. I mean, John Cena was out from injury. He returned early, way too early, and just didn't look great in that match whatsoever. But John Cena still won against Del Rio. And ever since then, they haven't made Del Rio recover from that win. Are they really going to make him recover and build this guy up ready for WrestleMania 30? He's beyond repair for a WrestleMania 30 match. So why would they bother giving Del Rio a win at Elimination Chamber if he honestly is beyond repair for a WrestleMania 30 match? He's lost so much momentum in the last 4 months, you couldn't possibly put this guy on the card and make people believe he is actually winning. So for me, Del Rio is beyond repair, wouldn't make sense, wouldn't benefit him at all if you're going to give him the win, because honestly, you just can't build this guy up. He just lost. You can't. 6 weeks is not enough to build this guy up for WrestleMania 30. So for me, Batista's winning here, getting as much momentum as possible going into WrestleMania 30. If you look at how they've booked Batista in the last few weeks, every time Batista has looked the stronger out of the two. He put Del Rio through an announce table. He stood tall in the ring when Del Rio ran away. They've made this guy look as strong as possible going into this match because they want to make Batista as strong as possible going into WrestleMania 30. That's why they put him against Del Rio. Del Rio's job here is to put over Batista, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Del Rio is going to he's been put in this squash match to put over Batista, and Batista is going to squash Del Rio in a very short match. What do you guys think? I think it's almost a certain Batista's winning here. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you have in fact enjoyed the video. Take care. Spy your hair. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing my prediction for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at the Elimination Chamber 2014 pay-per-view. This will be in the Elimination Chamber and will be, of course, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's between Sheamus, Christian, Randy Orton, John Cena, Antonio Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan. And I'm not particularly interested in this match because it's a very, very easy match to predict. Yes, I do see the Viper, Randy Orton, walking out of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. There are a few reasons why I do think this is going to happen. One, he's already had a few promos. He's already had a few segments with Batista. They're obviously teasing at these guys going head-to-head at WrestleMania 30. They've already started the build between these guys for WrestleMania 30. So it does look like they're going all the way up to WrestleMania 30 for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between Randy Orton and Batista. That was the match which was rumoured for WrestleMania 30 before Batista returned, and that was even before we knew he was winning the Royal Rumble. But it does look like, since they've done so many segments and promos with these guys and mentioning each other in their promos, it does look like they've already teased at these guys going up against each other at WrestleMania 30. It does look like that will be the match which headlines WrestleMania 30, and obviously for that to happen between Orton and Batista, you've got to have Orton come out as the champion here so that he can go on to WrestleMania 30 still as the champion. Also, you've got to favour the heels in this match because obviously Batista is a face and you want to have a heel facing a face, especially in a main event match. So, obviously, Randy Orton, Cesaro, and now Christian are heels in this match. And Christian and Antonio Cesaro, I both can't see headlining WrestleMania 30. So, you'd have to pick Randy Orton as the only heel valuable or worthy of headlining WrestleMania. He's the only guy in the company at the moment as a heel, which I think could headline WrestleMania 30. Christian and Antonio Cesaro definitely aren't there yet, and definitely wouldn't be able to be built up to WrestleMania 30 in time for a main event match against Batista. Also, I'm actually expecting John Cena to get taken out by the Wyatt family either before or during the match, during the Elimination Chamber match. Now, it is rumoured that the Wyatt family or Bray Wyatt will face John Cena at WrestleMania 30. And to start that build, you've got to have the Wyatt family probably attack John Cena in the match or before the match. If it happens before, I can see WWE booking Brock Lesnar to enter the Chamber match when the Minneapolis, Minnesota crowd goes wild, because it is Brock Lesnar's hometown. or his Bill's hometown in WWE, it would be a shame for Brock Lesnar not actually to be at the event. So the one way they could do this is for the Wyatt family to attack John Cena during the show, and then it rules him out of the chamber match. That'll put over the Wyatt family very, very well, and then maybe Brock Lesnar either enters or they only have 5 guys during the chamber. Or they could have the Wyatt family enter or rip open the cage and then attack John Cena, take him out of the chamber match, and that'll also put over the Wyatt family rather well. Either way, it will build up a match between Cena against Bray Wyatt, ready for WrestleMania 30, and that is one of the matches which are supposedly going to be on the card for WrestleMania 30. So that would be one way to build that match, and it's very, very likely to happen. Also, one other thing I could see happening, which I'm not particularly sure if it's going to happen or not, because I definitely think that they need to have a clean finish on this pay-per-view, considering we had a lot of stale finishes during the end of 2013 with Battleground. You also had the Night of Champions ending, very, very boring and stale finishes, which really weren't clean finishes. You had one at Survivor Series where Triple H came out and distracted Big Show. You also had at Hell in a Cell. There was a good 4 pay-per-views where you didn't have clean endings. And the fact that the WWE Network comes out a day after, you've got to keep fans on your side. So without a clean finish, fans are going to be very dissatisfied. So you've definitely got to have a clean finish. But I do see Daniel Bryan during the match getting attacked by Kane in some way. Now, the reason why I do think probably the Wyatt family may attack John Cena before the match, I do think it would look kind of jam-packed if you had the Wyatt family and then Kane attacking people during the match. It would be a bit too much and a bit too much on the eyes, and maybe just squeezing it in a little bit and maybe looking a bit rushed. If you have the Wyatt family attacking Cena before the match and then you have Kane during the match, it won't seem as much as jam-packed. I mean, if you have 2 different people attacking 2 different people during the match, it'll look way too jam-packed and it won't look very fluent at all. So I do expect Kane to have something to do with Daniel Bryan's exit out of this match. And I definitely don't see Daniel Bryan picking up the victory in this match, because obviously he was built up so well during the time between it was September and October, and he still didn't manage to dethrone Randy Orton. They're not going to make Daniel Bryan finally win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at a B-list pay-per-view Elimination Chamber without any build for Daniel Bryan. When Daniel Bryan does finally win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, it's going to be when he's built up so well. It's not going to feel special when he finally defeats Randy Orton in a clean way, when he's not really being built up well, and he's in a match with 5 other people. When he does win, it's going to be either in a singles match or at a triple threat match at WrestleMania 30. He's not really been built to win the championship here, so I don't see him dethroning Randy Orton here and winning the title and going on a very long reign. And also, Randy Orton has been the champion since September. He has been the champion since December, obviously, when he won at TLC 2013, and the Authority have looked rather strong since September 2013, and I do think when somebody actually dethrones the Authority and somebody becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, it's going to have a lot of build towards it, and there's going to be a lot of build towards it where the championship or the Authority is within threat. Now, this chamber match has been built where Randy Orton's at threat, but not necessarily the Authority and the Corporation are at threat. When somebody does finally win them titles and dethrone the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and the Authority, it's going to be a big occasion like WrestleMania 30. It's not going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and this match itself doesn't really feel big. When somebody finally dethrones the Authority, it's going to be a big occasion. None of these guys have really correctly been built up well to dethrone the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and the Authority. The Authority have been going since September 2013. Do you really see this going? Do you really see the Authority being dethroned at the Elimination Chamber? And I definitely see them going all the way up until WrestleMania 30 at least. Do you really see them getting dethroned at Elimination Chamber? At least it's going to happen at WrestleMania 30. They're definitely going all the way up until WrestleMania 30. But when it does happen, when the Authority are finally defeated, it's going to be a big occasion and it's going to have a lot of build towards it. I mean, Daniel Bryan was built up so well and still didn't manage to do it. So it's going to definitely be built up so well when it finally happens, and that's definitely not the occasion here. What do you guys think? I definitely see Randy Orton going all the way up until WrestleMania 30 to defend his title against Batista. Daniel Bryan could possibly be in that match. One way they could do it is where Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton are the last 2 guys, a bit of deja vu, and then Kane comes out, attacks Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton gets the pinfall, and that'd give Daniel Bryan the excuse to enter into a triple threat match against Randy Orton and Batista at WrestleMania 30 for the titles. That could happen. But what I see happening in the end is Randy Orton, of course, coming out as the winner. He's the only guy that deserves to bring it up to WrestleMania 30. I don't think any other guy in the chamber match really is ready to headline WrestleMania 30. Considering Cena is going to face the Wyatt family at WrestleMania 30, he probably was the only guy there. What do you guys think? I think